Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Lounatics, your favorite St. Louis sports podcast. I'm your host, Tyler. John is off on this evening, and we're doing something a little bit different tonight. Last year we did a wonderful Thanksgiving episode where John and I talked a lot about what we were thankful for in the sports and personal lives. This year we did something a little different. We reached out, we got a hold of a lot of people, people that have been on the show, friends of the show, people who've really just supported us while we've done the podcast over the last, little over a year and a half, and got them to talk about what they're thankful for this year. So bear with us as we hop through and kind of jump around a little bit and listen to hear what everyone this year is thankful for. And we're going to kick it off with Jacob, one of our good friends and frequent guest from the Blues Fan Forum podcast. So what are you thankful for this year, Jacob?
A lot of things. Personally, I'd say I'm thankful for my friends, my family, my work family, my job. I mean, I feel like I have a fairly good life. I got a lot of close people that I hang out with, both in different aspects of my life. So I'm very thankful for pretty much everything in my life, I think. My dog, can't forget Luna, too. So, professionally, I guess, or podcast related, I'm very thankful for the fan base of Blues hockey. They've kind of accepted me into this podcast role, and I get a lot of interaction on social media, and I get a lot of kind of just interaction when I'm at the games of people asking me like, what's this jersey? Or, yeah, well, I like podcasts. What is it? And we just kind of talk about it. So very thankful for the Blues fan base.
Anything in particular with St. Louis sports or with the Blues themselves that you're thankful for over this past year?
I'm thankful Robert Thomas is now back and uninjured. Hopefully in a week or two, I'll be thankful when Philip Broberg is uninjured. I guess I could say I'm thankful for the greatness of Jordan Binnington, as he is about to, maybe by the time this comes out, he will be the all-time leader in St. Louis Blues wins. So that's pretty exciting. But yeah, those big three: Broberg, Thomas, and Binner.
Hi, I'm Chris Gebhart from STLSoccerNews.com. My website covers soccer in the St. Louis area, as well as content and content creators in the St. Louis area that cover soccer, all the way from the pro level all the way down to high school and everywhere in between. What I'm thankful for this year, a couple things. Personally, I'm thankful to still be here to enjoy St. Louis sports. I had a unfortunate heart attack about halfway through the year, and I'm feeling much better and doing fine. And so I'm thankful to still be here. And from a sporting perspective, what I am thankful for is to have a club in City SC that cares so much about the community and does so much to encourage and foster the game in the area and build relationships and develop the community as a whole. That's something that is important to me and should be important to the region, that it's not just a club that's here to make money, but also to help grow the game in the area. And the mini pitches that they're building, the outreach that they've done, all the stuff that they're doing, all the way down to Mill Creek Valley, and paying tribute to the historically black community that used to be where the stadium now stands. All that stuff is a good indicator that the club is here not just as a financial tool for the ownership, but also as a way to connect with the city, with the region as a whole. And I'm very thankful for that.
Hi, everyone. This is Mo with Mo Football. I do all St. Louis City content, ambush content, and anything soccer related. What I'm thankful for, I will say first, St. Louis soccer committee has been very welcoming, always there for me. So very thankful for them. Thankful for wife, kids, everybody's healthy. So no complaint about that. And also I will say very thankful that I woke up this morning. So that is another great thing. So I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving with families and friends. And we'll see you all soon.
I'm Abby Stilianu. I am one of the hosts of the St. Louis City Press and International Friendly, which is our full title, although we usually go just by St. Louis City Press these days. It is along with my siblings and a handful of their high school friends. We are a semi-regular podcast that covers all things city from a variety of angles and then a lot of chaos. So in any given week, God only knows what sort of insanity you will get on one of our podcasts. My particular angle on that is that I am a faculty member at St. Louis University in the Department of Computer Science. And so I do research on artificial intelligence and computer vision and data science. And so I have gotten really into sort of the analytical side of soccer and trying to understand the role of computing and data science and machine learning. So one of the things that I am grateful for, and I think I'm grateful both to sort of City for creating this excitement and enthusiasm in me, and also to my employer, I was able to teach this semester a class on the machine learning applications for soccer. So it was really fun. I had about 30 students at the undergraduate and graduate level who are learning about the role of AI and machine learning and data science in professional soccer. We've had sort of an emphasis on the MLS. And then I have the students are all doing projects leading into the next couple of weeks. They're all going to have really neat final projects doing cool hands-on applications of machine learning for soccer. So that's really cool. It's been really fun. It's been neat for me. I've gotten to learn a huge amount about analytics that I never knew, just sort of as a casual fan before. It's been interesting because largely I think things don't really work in soccer because the sport is so complex, and that's been sort of one of the best teaching opportunities with my students is to get to show them, like, so why do these things not work? What is it about soccer that is so complex compared to a sport like baseball? So that's just been really, really fun. It's been neat for my students to get hands-on experience that they wouldn't have otherwise in sort of a traditional classroom setting. So I really feel really lucky that this podcast and sort of the team have created this sort of opportunity for me and for my students.
So my name is Tom Franklin. I am also known as Soccer Zombie. I have a YouTube channel, Soccer Zombie STL, on there. I also was active on X, the site formerly known as Twitter. I am now primarily posting on Bluesky, though, but I'll still post on X as well now and then. But I am a lifelong St. Louis sports fan, and I grew up with the St. Louis Cardinals, grew up with the St. Louis Blues, big fan of more so the Blues than the Cardinals. But I've also been a lifelong soccer fan, and I have been waiting all my life for St. Louis to have a club that really puts the city on the map in terms of the global soccer world. That's kind of the type of fan that I am, in that, like, I don't have a favorite NBA team because St. Louis doesn't have a team. So it's kind of really hard for me to get invested in a team unless there's one here. I know St. Louis FC was around. We had a few other lower league teams kind of come and go over the years. Part of the reason I didn't support them was because I wasn't living in St. Louis at the time. So, and except for like the final year of St. Louis FC, I went to one game, unfortunately. And I'm trying to make up for that with St. Louis City. And this team has changed my life in a lot of ways. It came at a time of my life where I was in a period of transition professionally. I worked 14 years in news, and I decided to walk away from that. And it is very hard to just change the thing that you've been doing for 14 years, the main thing that has allowed you to keep a roof over your head and, pay the bills. And I needed something to channel my energy into. I changed careers, and I was putting my energy in that, but like there was kind of like this hollow point inside of me here. There's this big empty chasm, because when you work in journalism, you tend to, for lack of a better term, become your career for the most part. It's a big part of your identity. It's a part of what you are and what you do in life. And so when you stop doing that, it's like, now what? And St. Louis City came at the exact right time. I slowly started getting involved in the supporters culture. I got season tickets, so I was able to go to most games. I only missed a couple in the first year. And once I missed those first couple, I decided I'm not missing many more games after this, and by hook or by crook, I was able to, go to just I would say about 95% of the home games last year. And what really changed for me though was my season tickets are not in the supporters section; they're above the supporters section. But I decided in June 1st, actually, that I'm going to try the supporters section. I'm going to see what it's about, and that place was my salvation. And that was how I was able to connect with a lot of people, a lot of new friends in my life that maybe I otherwise don't meet without the game of soccer. So, and as I have learned in my YouTube venture where I cover St. Louis City SC and the, domestic game, a little bit of the world game as well, there's nothing that connects like soccer, and that connects people from all walks of life. And I am grateful for the game of soccer, and I am thankful for the game of soccer and St. Louis City for being able to connect me to new friends, new experiences, and I hope in 2025 and beyond the good times roll, because unfortunately the alternative in St. Louis is Cardinals. No. Blues, no. So we need something to raise our spirits in 2025, and maybe City will be it.
Hey, Mondo here with City Refs. What am I thankful for this year? Super thankful for my wife and our 15-month baby boy. Is life's changed this year. Last season I got to run around, do whatever I wanted. This year got to be home to tuck him in most nights. So I'm super grateful. Uh, for my family. When it comes to soccer, I'm always thankful for Danny. Even though he shows up late every time, or doesn't show up at all in this case. But I'm also thankful for all the friendships and people that have become my family at the St. Louis City soccer stadium and whatnot, and then all of the partnerships. Man, so many genuine, great local businesses, that work with us. Tanya at State Farm, Joe at St. Louis Sports Apparel and Authentics, Ambush, just so many great people around this community, man. Just so thankful for them all, and looking forward to doing more with everybody.
Hi guys, I'm Michael Sinnott, otherwise known as Chat City Tactics. You can catch me on Twitter, formerly known as X. You can catch me on Bluesky, my various Substacks. I do a lot of tactical and data analysis for City, just because I'm kind of a nerd and I like that kind of stuff. What I'm most thankful for this year is having a soccer team. Whether it be a good team or a bad team, watching a loss at City Park is better than not having a game at City Park or not having City Park in general. So from a sporting perspective, that is definitely what I'm thankful for. On a personal note, thankful for the last couple months here of not having baby tactics in my life. So I'm excited to be a dad for the first time in the new year. So that's what I'm thankful for. Go City.
All right. Hey, I'm Joe Schwarz. I'm a former pitching analyst for The Athletic, which is now owned by the New York Times. So it would have been really cool to say that I worked for the New York Times, but I stopped writing for them before that happened. I'm pretty much washed up at this point, to be completely honest with you guys. You guys have me on this show, probably because you can't get anybody else. So that's part of what I'm thankful for this year in St. Louis sports, is that you've brought me back into the forefront of Cardinals and pitching analysis, and it's been pretty fun. But quite honestly, so we had talked a couple, like 2 days ago now, about what I could possibly be thankful for with St. Louis sports, and I still didn't come up with anything until the last 2 days. So the last 2 days, so you would think, wow, we're November 24th, 2024, as we're recording this, and it took you that long to be thankful for something in St. Louis sports, and you know what it is. So the first one is, and I forget the guy's name already, so I feel terrible, but this this machine learner guy that's still in school. He goes to Grand Valley State University, I think, or something like that. I don't know. He posted on Twitter that upon graduation, the Cardinals are going to hire him. And I'd never heard of this guy before in my entire life. But when he posted that, someone shared it, and I looked at his feed, and everything he posts on his feed is about pitch sequencing and all of this data analysis that is just way higher level than anything that I've ever could dream of. I was a very elementary pitching analyst, to be completely honest with you, but I needed to be because you write for The Athletic. You don't want people that are putting all this crazy data out there and data analysis. They want to know the very what's most important, what's easiest to understand. But the fact that the St. Louis Cardinals in the year 2024 are finally investing in this guy that seems like an absolute nerd. I should absolutely get his name right, and it's a really weird name, which is why I'm missing it. But the fact that they have hired somebody for this now in 2024 that they probably should have done in 2019, 2020 is something that I'm extremely thankful for. I don't know if this is a Heim Bloom thing. It probably is. I don't know if this is the turning the corner of the St. Louis Cardinals where they're finally understanding that they are behind. And if it is, I'm excited. Because quite honestly, we've been hearing about a pitching lab down in Jupiter, Florida for a decade now. They were the last people. It was hilarious. So Rapsodo it's a little device that can read pitch spin and spin axis and all that stuff. I went to Rapsodo because their headquarters are actually in St. Louis, and I threw in their pitching lab there, and I was talking to the people, and they're like, "Yeah, 29 teams have our device. The Cardinals are the only one that don't." And I'm like, "You've got a St. Louis-based company that is literally right in your backyard," and they even said that they had Cardinals pitchers come there. They had Cardinals hitters go there, but the St. Louis Cardinals themselves didn't have one. Now they rectified it. They've gotten them since then. But I think that if we finally have a guy that is out there and driven and he's young, obviously they took a young guy that's never been in the game before because he's probably cheap. He's probably making $18 an hour or something for the St. Louis Cardinals. But I'm really excited that if this is the start of something new with this club, I'm really, really pumped. Then my second thing I'm most thankful for is the fact that the St. Louis Blues exist. So I'm thankful that the St. Louis Blues exist solely because what Doug Armstrong does is the exact opposite of what we've seen from John Mozeliak for the last 10 years, where he doesn't even make the right decisions all the time. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe that all of these decisions that Doug Armstrong is making are the correct moves. But he's making moves and he's realizing what's going on is not working. And I think that the hiring of Jim Montgomery that was announced yesterday was a massive move for the St. Louis Blues. In 2024 NHL, I don't think the coach moves the needle as much as maybe Joel Quenneville did 8 years ago or whatever. But I still think we had an opportunity, the St. Louis Blues had an opportunity to add a guy that was clearly superior to Drew Bannister, and they did it. And who knows what's going to happen? Is he going to move the needle this year? Because obviously we know that the roster isn't what it needs to be necessarily, and that's partly Doug Armstrong. But just the fact that he's able to make these moves and just right down Clark Street or Market Street or whatever street that is, you see another general manager, president, whatever you want to call him, doing nothing. So it's one of those I don't know what your thoughts are of TMA the morning after on now that it's on 101 ESPN, but they always talk about sticking a finger in somebody's chest and making them take ownership. And I just want to see Doug Armstrong walk down the street go up to Mosaic, go up to Bill DeWitt III or whatever, and stick his finger in their chest and say, "Look what I'm doing down the street. You guys can do this at Busch Stadium too."
To wrap things up, I'd just kind of like to talk a little bit about what I'm thankful for. One, I'm thankful for all of our great friends and support, including all these wonderful people who have hopped on to join us and to help with this fun episode. This was done on a kind of a whim and short notice. And all of these people made a lot of time over the weekend to kind of hop on and talk with me and help get these recordings knocked out. Very thankful for the health and well-being of my family, my wife, my kids, my ability to have a roof over my head and heat and things like that in the winter. It can't be ever underestimated or undersold. In the sports community, obviously, I'm thankful that we have a soccer team, a Major League Soccer team finally here, and one that seems to care and gets when, results are not what we are hoping for. They're not afraid to make changes. Similarly with the Blues, I'm thankful that we have a front office that isn't afraid to make changes, is not afraid to move in the right direction. With the Cardinals, I'm really thankful for the fact that this year, moving into next season, we have a clear path forward. We are moving towards youth, and I'm excited about that youth movement. I'm excited to see what that's going to bring, and I think that's going to bring some excitement going to the ballpark to see, what these guys will become. I think there's a special piece of ownership when you get to see your young guys develop and you kind of fall in love with, hey, these are our guys. And thinks back to people like Yachty and Wayno and guys that came up through the system and stayed with the system. You kind of get that same feeling with St. Louis City with players like Celio, who's become a fan favorite. It's been a favorite of mine for since the first time I saw him play on against Union Omaha. And so I think the more you realize these things and you kind of fall in love with these players, you get to watch them come up. It creates a lasting impression and a lasting foothold for you, and you wanted to come back to see those guys play again and again. So I'm thankful for the youth movement. I'm thankful for the Blues and the St. Louis City front office doing what they do. And I'm very thankful for St. Louis City investing and putting so much time into the community as much as they do. And lastly, I'm thankful for those of you who actually listen and tune into our show all the time. It means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to John as well when we have people who are willing to hop on and listen, and even if it's just us rambling and bickering about who knows what about sports. So for all of that, I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. Everyone has safe travels, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.